our guest. He's in studio. He's got the bling from the Hall of Fame, courtesy of K Jewelers. He's got the beige. They got to update that jacket, man. Andre Reed, Hall of Famer, one out for the Bills. What's happening, buddy?
What's happening, man? Good to see you guys. I saw you guys a couple weeks ago in South Carolina, Myrtle Beach at that Hootie's thing, man.
Monday into the Masters.
I think they have upgraded that.
And hit that drive down the middle. That's all those people watching. I didn't hit anybody.
You guys almost won that event, right? Would you finish second or third?
We were like tied for third, but it was pretty good.
What's your handicap? What do you shoot?
You know what? I'm a lie. No, I'm not.
We all lie.
I'm a legitimate 8.
Okay, so you can play.
So I can play a little bit. Not bad.
So you're cracking 80 every now and then.
Yeah, I'll hit a 74 on you.
Hey, by the way,
we were commenting earlier that you guys had the best looking group, meaning golf attired
with
ready.
Gary Valentine.
Yeah, you guys looked the part.
We had it going on, man. We had fun. They do a great job.
They really did, and that was our first time out there. We had a blast. Hopefully, we're back next season. So, Andre, what's amazing, all these years, drafted in '85, right, out of a small town in PA, Kutztown.
Yeah.
You still got the same hairdo, man. You're doing a little New Jack City on
well,
the
man,
side. You hold that thing on forever?
It's not as juicy as it used to be. Because, that Jerry curl back in the 80s was, the shag. I had the shag Jerry curl, too. You did. The neck was dripping always, and he had spongy. His neck was always spongy.
Like Eazy-E.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
A little bit.
Yeah.
No,
like Ready for the World.
Yes.
You remember Ready for the World?
Yeah.
Yeah, Troop, all them groups, yeah.
So you're holding on to it, though. But
I'm holding on to it. I got hair.
Yes.
That's what it's
he
really
wins the
important.
conversation when he says that.
I got here. Not to say anything about you guys,
no,
but
you didn't
I got
have to.
Here. Okay,
Point taken.
Next topic.
Yes.
Hey, what was it like? I mean, it was so different just how we covered it, how we consumed it.
Yeah.
The day that you were drafted in 1985, what do you remember about it?
TV was just starting back then. And you know what? ESPN was kind of like not the real big deal like it is now.
Yeah, just a little 6 years old at that
There was no social media.
Yeah, little regional network.
Yeah, no social media. I went to a small school, so it was like, it was just the local TV at the school and maybe another TV station. And I remember my agent saying to me, you know what, where are you going to be at for the draft? I said, well, I'm either going to be here at school or I'm going to go home. So I picked to go home, and I was projected to go rounds 3 through 6. And ended up going in the 4th round. Mm-hmm. And the funny thing about it is when I got inducted to the Hall, I saw my draft grade.
Oh.
And I was
You had never seen it before?
I had never seen my draft grade.
Oh, interesting.
And I was Jerry was number 1. I was fourth in the whole draft.
Really?
Yeah.
Why'd you drop?
Yeah.
Small school, man. They didn't know the small school thing back then.
Really?
There was a lot of question marks.
Interesting.
Yeah.
This is Andre Reed. He's with us in the studio. Hall of Famer, former Bill, great Bill.
Were you acting a fool in college? Is that why?
No, man.
We don't know about this guy. We don't trust this cat.
Let me tell you right now, going to a small school. I mean, I used to go cow tipping, man. I mean,
yeah.
I know the
cows. Yeah. So I really didn't. It was more of just the game, playing the game, and I knew I went to a small school, and I didn't. The thing was, can he play at the next level like some of these guys that went to the bigger schools?
Yeah, no, it's interesting because that's a question I think we still ask. You talk about small schools. We got Carson Wentz, who was just on TV here a second ago. Nobody knows what the heck he's going to do in the National Football League. He played against small schools and little tiny stadiums with not a ton of pressure.
Yeah.
When you think about, because you proved it. You can come out of a small school. Does that really matter? Or is it just
I think
baller or a baller?
Dude, a baller's a baller. You know that, Tiki. Nowadays, especially at the quarterback position, and I think what separates him from all these other guys in golf, he's a winner. He's a proven winner. And in this league, you got to have a winner at that position. You're not going to go anywhere without not having a winner at the quarterback position.
Achilles Smith won at Oregon. Tim Couch won at Kentucky.
You're right. You're right.
How do you really differentiate?
But Achilles Smith didn't have the requisite skills.
Achilles Smith probably had more. He could run. He had a pretty big arm. He was just a dope.
I just think, I don't know. You're playing with the dice when
there you go.
Like you're just rolling the dice and you're hoping you're getting boxcars. I don't know.
That's almost anybody though.
That's anybody. But I think at that position, because you're going to build your franchise right there. That's where you're going to start, especially because the Rams moved up to 1 and the Eagles moved up to 2. Them quarterbacks are gone.
Yeah.
Okay? Regardless if they got Sam Bradford or not, he wants to trade now. But they're going to build their team around that quarterback. And in the league now, that's where you start. You start with that quarterback, and you got to build around him and give him the right weapons, that he needs to get himself better.
Well, let's get to your quarterback, not the one that you played with, Jim. And, of course, by the way, how's Jim doing?
He's doing real well. I just saw him a couple weeks ago, about a month or two ago in Chicago, and still you're never out the woods with the things that he's going through, but he is far better now than he was at this time probably a year ago.
That's what we want to hear. Certainly
So,
praying for Jim.
well.
Big time competitor.
Love that guy. Love him.
I know
love
you
him.
do. Tyrod Taylor, you love him or do you
Love
like
that
him?
guy. I tell you, I was with them in training camp last year, helping out with the receivers and talking to Rex. I got to really, get to know him a little bit more. And we all know Rex kind of wears his stuff on his sleeve.
Yep.
He's going to say what
He's
he
gonna
wants
tell
to
you.
say. He's going to tell you. But coming into camp, it was who's going to be the quarterback for the Bills this year? Is it going to be Castle? Is EJ going to step up
EJ
finally?
Manuel's terrible.
And
He's terrible.
and is this Tyrod Taylor kid, who nobody thought about anything, and he was behind Joe Flacco in Baltimore for a couple years, and he went in there and got that starting job.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he has proven himself that coming into this year that he's deserving of that, and it's only up to his to lose.
Yeah.
Coming into camp. So that's not the big deal with the Bills this year. Who's going to be the quarterback? Right now is can they get that defense back to being a top 5 defense to help that offense? And they lost Mario. They lost a linebacker. They lost a couple guys in the
Kiko
secondary.
Alonso, right?
Yeah.
A couple years ago.
That was 2 years ago.
Can that
Yep.
defense and they're getting a little thin on the front line there.
Yeah.
With, Kyle Williams is 33 now. He's been injured.
Mm-hmm.
Marcel Darius is probably their big key guy now.
He's a stud.
So you got to build around him now. So I think if you ask me where the Bills go in the draft tomorrow at 19, I think they go defensive line.
How much of the defensive step back, because let's call it that, they were great 2 years ago. Last year, middle of the road a little bit.
Yeah.
Is on Rex.
I don't think, it's a philosophy like anything. You got a philosophy on offense. You got a philosophy on defense. How does your team fit into that philosophy? Okay? I mean, Mario last year said, well, we're in a 3-4 or a 4-3, whatever they're running, but they were dropping me into coverage.
Yeah.
And Mario doesn't. He's right. He's a rush. He's a get after the quarterback kind of guy, and I'm sure he'll do that in Miami this year. But you only and Dennis Thurman was the offensive coordinator. Now he's a secondary coach. They brought Ed Reed in and all that. So
how do you think Ed's going to do? By the way, I think he's going to be pretty good.
He knows Rick's system.
Yeah,
he played in it.
But I mean, just relatability.
I think are they going to be able to rely to him as a former player now that he's coaching, and how is he going to teach him being a former player to those guys?
Yeah.
That's really the big thing with him. I mean, does he have to be a coach? Of course.
Yeah.
But how does he relate? How's he going to relate to those kids now? Because it isn't the same kid it was when he played.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
So that's going to be it. Yeah.
Andre Reed, he's with us in studio, Hall of Famer, 16 years in the NFL, 85 fourth-round pick out of a small school, obviously carved out a great career. He's with K Jewelers, certainly give you a chance to hit on that in a little bit. I wanted to ask you, though, quickly, as a competitor, because I kind of think I know what you'll say, and I think it's the opposite of what I would say.
Yeah.
All right, so we know everybody's chasing the Pats. Every year, trying to beat the Pats, win the division. Nobody has any success. Jets,
Right.
Bills, and Dolphins, right?
Yep.
He's out the first 4 games of the season. You're on the Bills right now. Are you happy, or are you saying if we're going to beat them, we want to beat them at their apex?
Yeah, and that's what Rex said. And when this went on last year, that he might get suspended for the first 4 games,
Mm-hmm.
Rex is like, look here, I don't want him suspended. I want to play against the best.
Yeah, that's nonsense. I'm not believe. I don't buy that.
I'm
asking you though, not Rex. What about you?
This is what he said. So I'm gonna go with the benefit of the doubt or whatever it is. I mean, you want to beat the best.
But you never beat him.
You're right. Does Brady not being there give you a better chance? Yeah. Of course. I mean, what's the guy, Garoppolo?
Garoppolo, yeah.
I mean, the guy threw what, 5 passes, 6 passes?
Yeah, we don't know.
And we don't know about that. So the Bills don't get them to the 4th game anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So who potentially they could be 0-4, 2-2, 3-1, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But they can't worry about Brady not being there. That's where you go wrong. Their schedule, every year there's a certain part of everybody's schedule there's going to be a lull. And there's going to be a lull in the Bills' schedule. They play out in L.A. 3 times.
Do they really?
They play the Rams.
Niners.
They go to Seattle on Monday night, and they play the Raiders out in Oakland. All in a 3-month span. So those 3 games could be their season to a certain point. There's always a point where this is your season right here. Yep. You got to win. You got to win 1 or 2 of these games. And they're no different than no other
I think
team.
the Bills are going to be good this year. I do.
Yeah. No, we asked earlier about Jim Kelly, and he's obviously had a very public cancer treatment, and he's beating it right now.
Right.
Another one of your teammates, another Hall of Famer, Thurman Thomas, he came out just recently talking about some of the issues post-concussion, memory loss. We hear this with a lot of former guys. How's he doing? And is this something that's worrisome for a lot of guys from your era particularly?
You know, Tiki, man, the game is different.
Yeah.
You know, the protection of the player has been such a big issue. I mean, that's the first thing that's on Rodgers' desk every single day is that player safety between the helmets and the way guys are getting hit and the man, all that kind of stuff. You know, it wasn't like that when we played.
No. Safety
was not an issue. I mean, it was an issue.
It started to in my era, probably like 6 years in. Yeah. I remember they outlawed the horse collar tackle.
Exactly.
Before that, it didn't matter. Just get the guy on the ground. It doesn't matter if you break his leg or not.
Yeah. And you know, the Chuck Cecils of back in the day and all those dudes, they'd be fine. And you know, I told what's his name from the Buccaneers, John Lynch.
Yeah.
John Lynch he'd have no money right now because he would be fine. He'd have a FedEx envelope in his locker every game.
It's true.
But see, nowadays it isn't like that. And I do commend Roger for making this and bringing this to the forefront. But all these former players coming out now, and especially with the movie coming out, you know, last year in December about concussions and the effects of it, we all are getting older. We all forget. We all this. We all that. And I even said this publicly too. I've had probably every time you get dinged, that's a concussion. You can't measure what a concussion. It's a mild 1, 2. No,
it's a concussion.
If you can't see for a minute, you got concussed. And all these players now, and Thurman coming out and saying this, I mean, it's a concern. And they're not saying it because this other guy said it. It's affecting me every single day. And for a player of any stature to say that, and guys are retiring because of this. You know, there's 4 or 5 guys every year saying, you know what, I can't do this anymore.
There's rookies retiring.
Yeah.
But the difference, Andre, is that, you know, you guys, obviously back in the 80s, you made good money for the 80s, and then eventually in the 90s you made good money. But these guys can retire.
It can, yeah,
because they got $8, $9, $10 million tucked away in the bank.
Exactly. It's a lot different in every aspect from the time you put that helmet off to the time you take it off. Mm-hmm. All that stuff in between is a lot different than it was, you know, 25 years.
What'd you play growing up? Did you play other sports?
I was basketball, and you know what? It's funny. I tell this story. I played baseball, and I played, you know, Pop Warner at Little League Baseball, and I played third base, and everybody knows that's the hot corner.
Oh, yeah.
And I got hit in the head with the baseball.
now concussion number one.
Playing in the field.
Listen to me.
Playing in the field.
Yeah, I got hit in the head with the baseball, and I'm like, man,
this ain't my sport.
This ain't my sport. I don't want to do this. And look what I did for a living. I got hit in the head.
You went to tennis. You went to football.
Yeah, I went straight to getting hit in the head for a living.
Now, was this a line drive or a bad hop? How'd you take it off the dome?
It hit me. I think it was like coming up, and it took a bad hop.
Hit a rock. I can imagine the fields in the late 70s, early 80s. I remember them. They were terrible.
Playing on a cow pasture, man. But that's funny. That story's funny because I ended up playing football for a living. But I think you know, this concussion thing, it's not gonna dissipate. It's gonna keep going, and our players going to be at this point in 10 years down the road. Will the effects be the same that they were 10, 15 years before that? I think so. Mm-hmm. Will there be more? That's yet to be known.
Yeah, maybe because there's more awareness. There probably will be.
And I think
the things that
it's only going to get worse.
Your era, maybe even some of the early guys in my era would just kind of discount and say that was just nothing. I mean, I'm just getting old a little bit. Now you know what it's coming from.
Yeah.
K Jewelers is the #1 jewelry store in America, and you guys have the Ring of Excellence.
Yes.
Which is obviously an excellent Hall of Fame ring that you have. It's also Mother's Day around the corner. Tell us what you have going on with K.
Well, you know, not only has K done a great job with these rings, and all the Hall of Famers are going to get this ring. The rings before this look like high school rings, you know, like your class ring.
Yeah.
Because some of them still have their rings. Like I saw Mike Haynes just recently in Phoenix at a golf tournament, and I had my ring on. He was like, man.
They got hosed.
He's like, I can't wait to get my
So wait, every Hall of Famer.
Every living Hall of Famer will eventually get this ring.
Nice.
Which is not only great for them, but, you know, Kay has done a great job of representing the Hall. Represent what this Ring of Excellence means. And again, Mother's Day is right around the corner. K Jewelers, stores, K.com. They do a great job with not only just this ring, but their rings. I mean, their jewelry as a whole.
Yeah.
No, they do.
And
they do.
Get something from mom, man. She'll love it.
Yeah,
You gotta take care of
you
Mama.
know what you
Mama's
can do
taking
now.
care of
This is perfect for Mother's Day, right?
Yeah.
For these old head Hall of Famers, they can take that old high school ring, put it on a necklace, and give it to mom.
Yeah.
There you go.
No,
Well,
but
they
see,
should have done
that's
that
a
already.
thought.
my mom saw this ring. My mom wants this ring. Believe me. So that's a big thing. But go to K and they represent great, man. They customize everything just like these rings.
Yeah, we're gonna tweet this out
You
for
should give that to your moms.
Yeah,
Give it to your
exactly.
mom.
Let
You
me
don't
ask
need to
you
wear
this.
it.
She's probably listening.
People know
Is
you're
she
a Hall of
listening?
Famer. You
She's
don't
probably
need to
PA
wear
Yeah,
it.
she's in PA. My mom's in Aruba.
Hey, Mama Reed.
My mom's in Aruba.
Okay,
She,
living
I
the
called her.
life.
Her birthday was 2 days ago.
Oh, happy birthday, Mama
happy
Reed.
birthday, mom.
Yeah.
And I saw on Instagram and pictures. I go, oh, so she's in Aruba. Very nice.
I didn't
But
know.
She's having it. No, I didn't know. I didn't know until I see the pictures. You know, I've been trying to call her to wish her a happy birthday. Ain't got no answer. But
Oh,
happy
man.
birthday, mom. I love you.
Happy birthday, Mama Reed. Hey, real quick, give us one name that needs to be in the Hall of Fame next. Who's unfairly on the outside looking in?
Dude, there's so many guys.
Give us one. We
There's a
know
lot.
there's a few.
TD.
And let him go. We want
Yeah,
one.
I would say one. It's a senior guy, and that's Jerry Kramer. There's no doubt about it. I mean,
Vikings? Jerry Kramer? Where's that? Where am I not making that?
Packers.
Packers.
Jerry Kramer has epitomized what the Packers, and there's so many Packers are in a hall, you know, from Bart Starr all the way to Brett Favre, all the way. Jerry Kramer should be in, no doubt about
Good
it.
name.
And I've always pushed for Terrell Davis
Yeah.
because he doesn't get the love that he should get.
Yeah. Because his
because his career was shrunk.
Yep.
Yeah.
But if you look at his stats,
Oh, you don't have to sell us. We've been saying the same thing.
they match up with
We're with
Barry
you.
Sanders and
Agreed.
O.J. Simpson, all the great ones.
Andre, you can't
Emmett.
write the history of the NFL without including TD.
Yeah.
Period.
So,
Back to back.
Yeah, I'm sure I will get something on Twitter or something. He'll
Yep.
call me, man, thanks a lot. But because he's always plugged me over the years, so that's what it's about.
Jerry
Hey, great
Kramer.
seeing you, man.
BT didn't
got it.
expect you to have an answer. That was solid.
I did. I just want to make sure we get a good one.
That's a good one, man.
Andre, it's a good one. Happy
Thank you.
birthday, Mama Reed.